Imagine you go to the store, you purchase something, and you get some change. Go to another store and try to use the exact bills you got in change at the next store, and they hold it up and they say, you can't use this. This is counterfeit. And of course, you immediately feel like a criminal. At the same time, you feel ripped off. You look at the person and say, oh, that's not mine. I didn't print it. How did you tell? There's actually a part of our law enforcement that all they do is catch counterfeiters. And you know how they do it? They study the real deal all the time. They don't study counterfeit bills. They study the real ones so that the fake ones just appear immediately. But because you and I don't study them, they can pass them off to unassuming consumers like me and you. Psalm 119, verse 104, the psalmist writes this: I learn your precepts, God, so I can get understanding, and I hate evil ways. I don't know about you, but sometimes it's difficult to know, well, what is right and wrong? In our world, everything's kind of up for grabs. In fact, in our world, wrong is right and right is wrong. But how do you determine which is which? And the psalmist 2,000 years ago, he said, you study what the real McCoy is so that you immediately know what is fake, what is false, what is wrong. My little grandson, Thomas, his father, Craig, and his mother, Christina, they have a white minivan like many other parents of little ones. And not too long ago, we had Thomas in our car, and we were watching him, and we pulled into a parking lot. This is before the stay-at-home orders. We pulled into a big parking lot of a store, grocery store, something like that. And he said, Daddy's here. And we were like, Daddy's here? We thought he'd saw Daddy, and he's pointing. And we looked to where he's pointing, and there's the exact color and model of his parents' minivan. He's 2 years old. He's like, that's Daddy. Why? He's looked at that car a lot at home. And so out of all those hundreds of cars in the parking lot, he picked out the one that is just like Mom and Dad's. You know, if we study God's Word, we'll be able to immediately recognize the truth and know that everything else doesn't belong in our life. It is said by the time a young person hits college, they will have viewed 30,000 hours of television. And that's putting impressions in their mind. The Bible has 66 books in it, and it is said that it takes about 80 hours to read the Bible. It's not that we don't have the opportunity, we don't have the time, we just lack the willpower. If we put God's truth in our life, we will recognize all the falsehoods, all the wrong things, and that's why the psalmist said, I love it, because God's truth brought fulfillment and purpose and kept him from going the wrong way.